answer. Worst girl Priscilla is a staunch monarchist who believes that the world is made in her favor and that thus everyone will be happiest if they just do everything she says all the time. Krush is a hardline nationalist and militarist who believes that the people of Lagunica have
all well and good, but I wonder if we gonna get anything more about this. How we out of here?
We out of here,
dude. Don't give me how they would rule because I don't care because it leads to nothing in season 1.
becomes soft under the dragon's protection and wants to build a truly independent nation with a strong military at its center. Both were born as elites, and their philosophies of leadership very much reflect that out-of-touch perspective. Anastasia Hoshin is an elite as well, but one who rose to her station out of poverty with a lot of help from her demi-human friends and more than a little luck. She's a capitalist at heart who wants to count the kingdom among her possessions and believes that will be in everyone's best interest because she does take very good care of her things. She sees that the systems governing Lugunica are unfair, but has also benefited from similar systems and thus seeks to reform rather than replace them. In contrast, her fellow orphan, Felt, who was raised in the slums by an old demi-human rebel and had to steal to survive, hates everything about the kingdom and its class structure, especially the military and nobility, and wants to raze the whole broken system to the ground. She is my anarchist waifu, and I love her. Though not quite as much as I love Emilia, who, true to her pure heart, just wants to build a world where everyone is truly equal. Though she seemingly needs some help figuring out the
My bad. This Twitter dude is pissing me off.
They all get a nice little speech to stand up and go, here are my ideas and my values. That's fantastic. We see it go nowhere in season 1, and Big Hat Girl, what does she do? Not really important to the story. After this, Little Blonde Girl, she's not seen again. Not important to the story. Sword Girl, her princessiness really doesn't play into the story anymore because it's all about the white whale. Same thing with Emilia, she's off to the side. We know what they're gonna do when they're ruling, but it amounts to basically nothing.
I love her. Though not quite as much as I love Emilia, who, true to her pure heart, just wants to build a world where everyone is truly equal. Though she seemingly needs some help figuring out the finer practice.
Oh, but Big Mom is evil when she wants the exact same thing. Oh, but Big Mom's the problem. I see y'all.
But she is.
No! Oh, she ate people. Who cares?
The people she ate? She ate a lot of people. A lot of children. Make no mistake, Big Mom ate children. A lot of children.
Of how to make that happen. Though some are clearly better than others, all of these potential leaders have their own pros and cons, and based on their backstories, it makes complete sense why each of them believes the things they do. None of them, not even Priscilla, are truly bad people, which is only going to make it more tragic when their competing ideologies finally come to a head. It's a very serious situation.
Boy, can't wait to see that happen.
When?
Oh, whoops. Oh, well, okay. 3 episodes of that brain, man. Oh, great. Yep. Great. I guess we don't get to see that happen.
That a very unserious person like Subaru really has no business being a part of at all, and he probably wouldn't have any interest in it either if he'd been born into this world. But because he sees it like we do, as cool fantasy lore that he wants to learn more about as part of a grand heroic adventure story that he thinks he's part of, he gets in way over his head and spends a lot of his time making things worse.
Yep.
He's quite lucky then, and so is the entire country, that his superpower allows him to reset all of the complex systems that he keeps accidentally fucking with without knowing what they do. Meaning he can effectively...
He still messes with them. It just comes out in the best of his favor now.
Yep. And it sure is lucky that he can do whatever he wants and there's no consequences because he can just die and get reset to 0.
To some arbitrary 0. Because we don't know where it is.
Yep. mistakes, successes, whatever, learning about people, whatever. It's all just doesn't matter until the point that it does matter, when it resets to a further point. His reset point resets to a further point, and now all of that stuff sticks. Up until the point that it sticks, it's just like, well, does this matter? Him going, Amelia, I promise that we'll go out on a date tomorrow, blah, 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 this, and this. And he's super hyped about it, and then he just dies, and then that just goes away. Oh, I guess that didn't matter. It matters to him because he's sad about it, and he's like, I gotta do that all over again. That whole thing just didn't matter.
He saves Scum his way through this big game of magic civilization, exploring different possibility states until he arrives at the one that causes the least amount of strife for everyone. And because this constant resetting both allows and kind of forces him to understand the points of view of every major player in the Royal...
No, he doesn't have to understand them. He just has to regurgitate them.
Yeah.
This is just like when Japanese people need to speak English and they do it phonetically. So it's just like, They don't understand what they're saying. They're just being told what to say. That's exactly what happens here. I don't understand your white whale crap, but I know this is what you want. So we going after the white whale. You in? Okay, I'm in.
Yeah, that's basically all it is.
He might just end up becoming a real force for political good if he ever fully dislodges his cranium.
No, because he could instantly turn back into that terrible person,
as we've seen. And even still, this is a whole thing of...
I have to say, I like the visuals of that opening.
Yeah, it's good. But the whole thing is, again, he's not smart. He's not learning. He's not cunning. He's just going, okay, I got this knowledge that nobody else could possibly have, so I'm just going back and then pushing things to the best of my abilities. Anybody can do that. This isn't like character specific sort of thing. It's like something else. It was a whole thing. One of my teachers said, it's just like, put a character in a room with 4 walls, no, and a roof, no doors, no anything. Uh-huh. How do they get out? And you have to think about how each character would get out. Would they break through it? Would they dig? Would they cry for help? What would they do in that situation? Subaru doesn't have to think about that because he could just try something, die. It's like
until he finds the best possible.
Not something that is character specific to him, but just the best possible outcome.
Rectum. But that's just another potential story development that's fun.
Potential!
Hey, we potentially out here.
This stage in the anime, Subaru is still very much bumbling his way through more conventional fantasy adventures, defeating monsters and bad guys and stuff without fully realizing the implications of his actions or even thinking about the big picture. And the way that
didn't you just say that he's learning lessons?
What?
Paying attention?
No, what?
Not caring about other people other than himself?
So he's going to become a political force of good without knowing the big picture or the consequences of his actions.
What?
What a masterpiece.
And again, not through anything other than this one thing that nobody else can do.
Mostly his friends defeat those bad guys, it's worth noting, is immensely entertaining. ReZero has truly great action scenes. They're well animated with strong cinematic lighting and framing, but its greatest strength is well thought out fight choreography that makes heavy use of each location the characters find themselves in and builds on the painful lessons that Subaru learns as he returns by death. Just look at how the battle with Elsa evolves from the one-hit kill.
Yeah, because it was in a oh, I love that fight.
That was great.
Too bad she's never seen
Season 1.
That ends Subaru's first loop, to the longer but still hopeless fight alongside Felt and Old Man Rom, to the final showdown where Subaru's muscle memory of the assassin's attacks just barely doesn't quite save his life, but it's okay because he bought enough time for the real heroes to save.
Yes. What does he do in those situations? I know what's gonna happen, and so I can counter it. Not because I'm good, but because nobody else can do this. No character stuff there needed. Just reactions.
Mm-hmm. He didn't get better.
No.
He just knows what's gonna happen. It's like if you were playing poker and you know what the card is gonna be. You don't need to think about nothing.
Yeah.
Or blackjack, you don't need to think about anything.
You just need to move the cards to the best possible outcome, and then you just win.
You didn't become a better player. You just won. That's the difference.
Heroes to save the day in his stead. If you scrutinize the animation, you can see the characters thinking and reacting to each other's attacks, and it's super cool how the fight spills out into the entire loot house. It's really good shit, and I'm honestly not sure whether I should cover that, or the White Whale, or the fight with the Mobbeast pack.
Mobbeast, no. White Whale, no. Elsa fight was great.
Yep.
If I ever do a ReZero Animele. Let me know in the comments. I might also maybe have to bring back What's in a Scene to talk about the camera work outside of the fights, because there's a lot of subtle visual storytelling going on there. Masaharu Watanabe should direct more.
Okay. How about you tell us this thing that leads to us figuring out that this is a masterpiece?
Yes. Instead of just going, it's here.
It's present,
It
and
exists.
I'll expand on it in other things.
It exists.
No, this would be way different if it was like back in the YouTube days where you could have annotations and it's like, ReZero's a masterpiece. Here's the video on character. Here's the video on blah, 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 blah. But you're presenting me a 42-minute video and going,
I potentially may explain it later.
Yeah. This is the same thing. The potential video is potentially coming for this kind of masterpiece.
Or shows. But what really ties these action scenes together, along with all the quiet character beats and tense, pulse-pounding thriller moments, is Jin Aketagawa's impeccable sound direction. From Anohana to Toradora to Recreators, Aketagawa's masterful soundscapes have brought many of my favorite anime worlds to life.
I only remember one theme with the show, and that's that one. That was really good. I really like that one. Other than that, it's just like, it exists.
Yeah, I'm not a big sound dude. If this is what you like, that's more power to you. I'm not a big sound dude. There's definitely music I like a lot in anime. I really like the Naruto soundtrack, for example.
It's nothing if it's not noticeable, and if it's it's good noticeable. It's sort of like the opposite of how I feel about animation.
Yeah,
where good animation won't bring me into something, but bad animation will take me out of it.
Yeah, so unless it's just so patently awful music, it's just something in the background.
Yeah, or it's absolutely amazing music, like the Persona series, or in, I keep bringing this up, but Sket Dance. Why, maybe listen to Sket Dance or watch Sket Dance. There's just, anytime a sad story happens, or a sad moment, or a revelation happening, it's just this single guitar just going din 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 din, and it's really good. It's just in the background, and that's all it is. It's not like this pulse pounding huge violin sort of thing. It's just this one little guitar just sort of strumming, and it's fantastic.
You just remind me of we're going into the sad music, sad scene Persona music.
Goodness.
I love that song so much.
It's a really good one.
And I've got to say, this is some of his best work. Subtle, environmental, and clothing.
Okay, no, this dude is a sound designer as opposed to music. Yeah, that also means very little to me. I don't want to hear Jello when you break some concrete, but the concrete itself is just concrete to me.
It's just
yeah.
Characters a real sense of physical presence, while not so subtle weapon effects make the action pop. The deadly whistle of Elsa's blades whipping through the air, the rattling chains of Rem's morning.
Chains rattle when you move them.
This is to be lauded. This is a positive thing.
And we've had a lot of times where the sound slices through the air and you hear that whistle.
These sounds have a way of sticking.
Two? Chains rattling and a whistle of a sword?
Yes.
In your mind long after you watch the show.
Nope.
And it makes use of
chain
them
rattling,
to
I guess.
Yeah, it rattled like a chain.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess this is something.
There's a character in Mortal Kombat X called Takeda. He uses chains in his thing. I can tell you the difference in the sounds. It's a chain rattling.
It's not like something like Chopper when he walks. There's sort of like a sound,
like a something squishing sound.
Yeah, this is just a chain rattling, and you're going, "This is sticking with me." It absolutely is not.
Yeah, I remember Chopper's sound. I do not remember the sound of like Zoro's sword slashing. Like,
if it even has a distinct sound, it's just like a chink sound.
Them to chilling effect. And that's not even taking into account the incredible score composed by Kenichiro Suehiro. The standout piece, to the point that it kind of overshadows the rest of them, is clearly the Call of the Witch.
Yeah,
that's the one you
call. And that's it. That's it.
It's a near-perfect accompaniment to the heights of the show's horror, and a great song to listen to if you're feeling constipated. That terrifying wailing is every bit as iconic as any of...
No.
I can't, when can I go into my iconic rant? when will you allow it? When will I?
When's my time?
When's my time to go iconic real bad? You just keep stopping it.
Because you keep stopping it.
Yeah, because I'm trying to get it out. And every time you not just yet. When? It's going to have to be in the title before I can say, hey, iconic real bad.
And the piece pulls together many of the series' most impactful scenes. But it's far from the only great song in this OST. No matter the tone of a scene, be it happy and upbeat, sad and heartfelt, or somber and...
Yeah, that's how music is supposed to be. You don't want some pulse-pounding action song while somebody's dying. You don't want the Wonder Woman thing while Superman's lying dead in a ditch.
The two of them walking around with that kid, and it's just techno music.
Yeah, no, you don't want that.
No.
That's off-putting.
Anybody who's ever seen a movie... or understands music or feelings can go, okay, sad piano music wins sad scene.
Suehiro nails it with a beautiful blend of gentle piano, mournful strings, and, when it's needed, more eerie chanting. The battle music, especially, is fun and varied, ranging from playful and tense...
Nothing.
Yeah, that sounds like something I'd hear in Star Wars or something.
I do not remember a chord of that. If you had laid this in front of me and went, where does this come from? I'd be like, I don't know anything.
You've talked about it in the Revisited.
It's nothing.
To properly heroic and triumphant.
Those were different tracks?
Legit.
I do. I like, this is something I'd hear in like an RPG. Like, of course it's gonna accentuate what's happening on the scene. That's what the music is supposed to do. Like, this is literally JRPG music.
Yeah.
There are very few aspects of ReZero's production that I can find any real fault with. White Fox is a very good studio in general, and they clearly prioritized making this show as good as it possibly could be. The only thing that really stands out as bad, or at least jarring, is the CGI used in big crowd scenes, and even that's impressive in its own way. There's a wide range of character models with clothing and designs that all fit the setting perfectly, and they do a lot more than just stand around to fill space. A clear effort's been made to make the capital of Lagunica in particular feel both lively and lived in.
Pause.
And
he's mentioned the cult like twice. It's a big part of the story. Why is this a masterpiece? You've mentioned characters, soundtrack, animation... And why we should think that it's a masterpiece.
Kinda.
But the crowds even serves to reinforce the world building.
Boy, look at them just standing there.
That's a lot of standing around, dude.
We see a mix of humans and demi-humans out in the city's shopping district, while the rich parts of town have mostly human inhabitants.
I'm surprised he didn't mention that this feels like a video game with 3D models, which further accentuates the fantasy life that he's in. Mm-hmm. and separates him from the people around him, even furthering the lonely feeling he has.
And the dingier areas are filled with more beast people. None of this makes the CGI compositing or animation any better. A lot of that is really awkward, but it's at least
like
used
Ruby.
well in service of the story. And that is, of course, what all of this is for. ReZero looks and sounds mad pretty in a brutal, chilling kind of way, but none of
It's another anime where it's just like this real pretty.
Yeah.
Hunter
Give me
Hunter,
more.
real pretty.
I need more.
In Kuroko Basketball or whatever that's called, real pretty. Free,
We
real
don't-
pretty.
We don't know the quality of the basketball one. Haikyuu, real pretty.
Real pretty.
It stinks.
It doesn't stink.
It stinks,
It doesn't stink.
dude. It
It's
stinks.
it's okay. It doesn't.
It stinks.
It doesn't stink. It's okay. It's got like a general funk to it. Like somebody put on like not strong enough deodorant. That's what it is. Like you can still you see they applied the deodorant. It just was not a brand suited for them.
It's one of them on the bus that are just like, homeboy, you stank, and you think that putting on cologne will mask that. But no, it combines the scents, and it kamehamehas it into my face, into this orgy of funk. It whomps.
It's okay. I mean, I can't argue against a Kamehameha blast of stink in your face. I can't go, no. Like, if it was something like I really liked, I could go, no, it's like a metal, no, it's a,
No,
it's just
as
a general
the days
funk.
go by, it is dropping harder and harder. And talking to that bum Chris pissed me off so much because he is so whatever about it.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm like,
one
Chris,
thing.
you can't be.
That's one thing I can't deal with, the air whatevers.
would matter if it didn't use it to tell an absolute banger of a story.
So
At this point,
we've got 5 minutes left plus a wrap up, and you're just now hitting the story. This should have been way earlier. You talked about world building a little bit,
The way you felt.
how you felt, all this stuff, and now you, for the last 3 minutes, are gonna hit on the story.
That's just like the Batman dude, where it's like, you got Thor and Hawk left, and you got like 2 minutes. What are you doing?
And dude, the story is the most flawed part about the whole series, and you spending so little time on it.
I've spent a lot of time, seriously, a lot of time, thanks for making it this far, talking about the things that make me love ReZero. Rich character psychology, super nerdy lore, and especially complex political intrigue are my jam.
Too bad we
do
don't
not-
get any of it.
I do not care about politics.
Yes, no. But he said that's why he loves it. So
Yep.
that appeals to him.
That's just me personally.
I'm not taking that away from him.
But they're hardly everybody's, and ReZero has such a broad appeal, not because it's smart, but because it's exciting. This series is a thrill ride.
No.
But you just said that in the mansion arc, people would find it boring because it's sort of not actiony and it's sort of character stuff. And again, you went rich characters, psychological, political stuff. Is this a masterpiece to you, or is this a masterpiece? Because that's all the stuff that you talked about in the 40 minutes of this video, and is it for you? Because if it's for you, whatever, that's all you. But fight you, we have to, but we can't fight your own personal, I love
What your
political
taste,
stuff.
yeah.
I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't fight you about that, other than the fact that it doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, I was having an argument with somebody about Hunter x
Oh,
Hunter.
you were having an argument. That's a surprise. Oh boy, my goodness.
I was having an argument on Twitter about Hunter x Hunter and how I said it's a fairly average show. And he was like, well, it's way above average if you know how badly shonen really is. And I'm like, okay, well, here's a bunch of series that I like more than it. And he's like, well, I don't like Blue Exorcist. I find it boring. I was like, that's something I can't argue against. You found it boring. Okay, I can't say anything to that. I can't go to you, it's not boring. No, you found it boring. What do you want from me? And that's exactly what this is. This is the bunch of stuff that I like, and so I think it's a masterpiece. But it may not be for you. Okay, so it's not a masterpiece. You just really like it. Don't call it a masterpiece. And that's like 80% of my problem with YouTubers. The way they quantify things, the way they say, something's a masterpiece or genius or something, where you cannot argue against it, but they want you to argue against it. Or this is the thing, I don't think they want you to argue against it. I think they want you to argue for it and to praise what they said. But I can't do that when I have to look at something and go, okay, why do you think it's a masterpiece? But you just said. But no, that doesn't make sense. So wait, no, that doesn't.
And I have two examples that I always quantify things by going, I cannot recommend Erase to anybody because it has great characters, which I absolutely love. It has a good plot, which I love. And it has time travel stuff, which I'm over the moon over. So I'm like, I don't know the quality of Erase, so I can't go, hey, somebody watch Erase. Because I'm like, I don't know if they would like it because it's so catered to what I like. I'm like, is it even good? And then on the flip side of that coin, you got something like Genlock. Robots, which I hate. It has really bad characters, and it has a nonsense plot. So I'm just like, I don't know how bad this is because it's just like,
it's super bad for me.
Yes, it's bad for me. So I'm not gonna go, it's good, it's bad, it's whatever. I'm going, for me, this is crap. For me, Erased is like freaking 9 on 10. But I don't know how good it is on its own. Erased has whatever characters, a whatever plot, and bad time travel. So I'm like, it's bad. This is like.
You mean Konosuba? I mean, not Konosuba, but this series.
What did I say?
ReZero. You said Erased.
Erased. Oh, ReZero. ReZero has those things. And I can quantifiably say, this is why these things are bad. And thus I can conclude that ReZero is bad.
Not just to you.
Yes. But with something like Erased, I'm like, he goes back in time. Why does he go back in time? Well...
built end to end from unpredictable twists and turns.
Unpredictable. I don't care about unpredictability. I don't care about predictability. I don't care about tropes. I don't care about things. I don't care about things that are implanted in things that constantly happen. I do not care about it as long as I enjoy it. And I do not enjoy Konosuba. I mean, not Konosuba, but ReZero. I keep saying Konosuba.
My goodness.
I do not enjoy ReZero because even if you say it's unpredictable, I don't like the main character.
Yes.
I don't like the way the other characters interact with him after his big blow up. I liked 12 episodes of ReZero, hated the rest of it because they don't turn around and go, you piece of what was all that? No, we talking about this. They just go, okay, we're behind you again.
Yes. And also the unpredictability thing that can also work as a detriment because as the whole cult is coming into the town to kill people and everything, all of a sudden Puck is just this giant demon freezing people, totally unpredictable.
Yep.
Where did this come from? Why?
But it was foreshadowed with the big monster with one of him deaths when he froze to death and got his head cut off.
Then same thing. It's unpredictable, but why? Oh, he was always just a big monster. Okay, where was he doing this white whale thing? Well, he was with Amelia. White whale is coming to kill Amelia. Maybe you should stop it. He's going to kill her eventually. Well, we're not talking about that. So, unpredictability can work against it as well.
Hey, didn't Amelia die at night? Or didn't he get attacked at night by Puck? And doesn't Puck sleep during that time? Yeah.
Hey, whatever.
I think
hey, press play. Hey, press play.
Wrenching drops and exhilarating crescendos. Above all of those layers.
I forgot. I was going to mention that scene right here where she gets her arms and legs and head twisted completely. She is just a ragged out on the ground. Brain Man goes, haha, she's dead, and now you rot here with her dead body. Goodbye. And then all of a sudden, she's just crawling like, no. You're very dead. Your head was twisted around clean. And then she frees him somehow then proceeds to die. Terrible. Awful.
Exhilarating crescendos. Above all of those layers of hidden meaning lies a rock-solid hero's journey narrative that just works on a fundamental level.
A rock-solid hero's journey story that works. The hero's journey is one of the most easiest things to do in all of storytelling. It's nothing. You're not impressing me by going, it's a hero's journey. And that also goes back to character stuff, and you're in story time. You just go, it's exhilarating and it's twist-filled.
Screenwriter Yoko Tani Masahiro paced out this adaptation very deliberately to end on the most satisfying possible point this early in the light novels. No. It's an unexpectedly happy ending for a
it was an undeserved happy ending.
It seems like they already had the I'm sorry conversation, and this is a conversation after that happened. Mm-hmm. It is. I sat there just going, what? Why is this dude not already been people's elbowed? It's ridiculous that this is just like, it's fine. The first conversation out after he's freaking yelling at you. After disobeying you're not even a command.
You're just asking, as a friend, please stay here. Couldn't even respect you enough to do that.
No. And then
screamed at you like it was your fault. And now we are.
And now we're fine. I love you, Amelia. Well, I'm still kind of hating you. So let's get out of the hate part first.
Yeah, but do you think I forgot all that crap you said?
Yeah.
How I owe you and all this?
How's about I'm sorry, first off. That whole scene is one of the biggest problems in anything that I've ever seen. Everything that follows that can be traced, all the bad things can be traced back to that one moment. It's so bad.
Mired in human misery, but it's what the audience needs and desperately wants after all of that. And Subaru, to his credit, really earns it, in part.
He didn't. Because he did not once say, Amelia, I am sorry.
Or I shan't act like that again. Or anything of the sort. Just like, I saved you. It's pretty out here. Boy, I sure do love you.
Basic adulting lesson that sometimes you need to listen to other people and do things that you don't want to do for them in order to get them to help you, but also
wasn't that functionally the second arc lesson that he learned?
Functionally.
Great.
Really hard, and especially toward the end of the series, does a lot of truly heroic, courageous shit.
No, he does the crap he thinks is the best to save Amelia. Just like when he had disobeyed her orders. He did it because he thought that was the best possible thing to do to help her.
And also, this sort of bravery thing means basically nothing.
Because he'll die and then he'll just come back.
Yes. And then he goes, okay, that didn't work. I can try something else.
It's just like when we talk about Giorno's resolve. It's really hard to point to another person's resolve like Jolene when she can't heal herself or be healed a large portion of in part. But he can just, I tore out my eye to do this thing, but here's my eye back. So his resolve means a lot less because the consequences are a lot less. So all this bravery means a lot less than ex-soldier getting killed than him doing it because he can just die and come back.
Make that happen. He doesn't lead the charge in the fight against the white whale, but he
does.
He absolutely does. There's a point where she goes, oh, look at that brave dude who has no fighting experience. He's out there while everybody here is cowering. Shouldn't we be like him?
Even before that, he leads the charge to distract the white whale so the rest of them can attack him.
Whoops.
Now, he's not the person sitting there going, go.
Yeah. He's not going battalion B break off over here or anything.
But he definitely led the charge to the white whale. He's not leading them, but he led the charge.
sticks his neck out multiple times to save others.
Yeah, his neck is invaluable.
Yeah, no, it's
It's
it means
indestructible.
nothing. Boy, that billionaire gave $1 to 15 people. Great. He sure did give his money to charity. Doesn't really mean too much.
Create openings to attack the beast. And while Betelgeuse does manage to best and kill him a couple of times, he gives his all to that fight in every loop and eventually strikes the decisive blow against the villain with his own hard-earned strength.
Meaningless.
No, his own knowledge.
Yes.
He didn't earn it. He died, and then he went, okay, this is what's going to happen, and now I can do this to counter it.
I know this dude has arms. I know his weakness. I know about all the witch things and his obsession with her, and he used that against him.
What did he earn?
That's something else the time loop gimmick is really good for, by the way. Instead of just isekaiing language and sword fighting skills into Subaru's brain, the anime is able to use his first stays at Roswell and Crush's estates like hyperbolic time chamber training sessions with Rom and Wilhelm, respectively.
Why did
and the
he
hard
show,
work we
like episode 26 right there.
him put into that really adds to the feeling that he earns his victories, which makes those great action scenes that much more exciting and satisfying. While it's busy earning,
What did he do?
This isn't really fair because technically, I don't know if suicide would count. No, because he jumped off that cliff and then reset. Okay, yep. So suicide still counts. Technically, he could train, die, not train, but learn some stuff, die, learn some stuff, die, learn some stuff, die, and he could gain like 30 years of knowledge in the space of a day. It's not really fair.
Yeah, absolutely not. Again, he's just using this thing that nobody else can do to his advantage.
But at least that is earned, like learning that stuff and then resetting.
You
and
still need to learn how
but
to play the piano.
You're not earning a victory by going, okay, I know what you're about to do.
all those crazy set-piece climaxes, ReZero also manages to set up some really powerful emotional story beats, more than one of which straight up made me cry. Whenever this series breaks out the bloom and soft line art, you know it's time to break out the tissues. ReZero...
No, I didn't cry.
Nope,
I felt...
me either.
I was still too busy feeling angry.
Yes.
And when this happened, I just went, wow, this is bullshit.
Yeah, it's horribly manipulative. Just going, I know how you felt about him episode 13, but he's trying his hardest. And this girl that you likes him and accepts
And
all
will
of his
always
faults.
like him.
Will you not also accept his faults like your favorite character does? It's horrible. It pisses me off.
You've already said it. It's manipulative. It's to evoke the emotion. I've said this before. It's just like the Naruto Sasuke thing where it's just like, you're my best friend and you become this and that and that. But we don't see that until the actual fight. We don't, like, this is really trying to manipulate you into caring about Subaru again and his struggles when we've already seen him be a piece of to everybody for like 3 episodes. Why should I care at this point?
Because Rim likes him.
Because Rim likes him, and now the series tells us you should care again. Look at him fighting hard and being funny again. Consequence free.
Basically. And again, after this episode, he does a near perfect run. Raw.
Oops, I hit space instead of...
ReZero ends with Subaru saving Emilia from imminent
And a
danger
bunch of
entirely
kids.
on his own, something the guy who barely bothered Elsa and got eaten alive by mob beasts could never have managed.
Yes, he could have if he knew a bomb was there and threw it into a cave.
Yes. Easy.
It's not like he fought something that he couldn't have fought when he was that piece of character and he used his darkness ability and all this extra shit. He grabbed a bomb that he knew was in the cart and threw it into a cave. Day one could have done that.
And also, when he fought the mob beast, he lured the mob beast to him. So he also put himself in danger in order to save somebody. That's like episode 8 or 9.
In doing so, he proves how far he's come and finally pays her back properly for saving him in the very first timeline, earning the confidence to confess his love to her as an equal. It's downright poetic, classic fantasy.
No, dude, no. No, because I don't care. At this point, I'm sorry. Dude, this is such nonsense. They have both saved each other a couple of times at least. And now it's just like he's earned the confidence to... What are you talking about?
He saved her against the gut slicing lady. Definitively.
And
he showed this.
And she's, and that was the time he was like, okay, I've earned your name. She doesn't even have memory of saving him anymore because that timeline no longer happened.
And even though there's more story left to tell, if ReZero never got another season, it would still feel complete. And
absolutely not.
That's just false, dude.
Yes, that is 100% false. There's so many dangling threads out there. And like you already said, they had to put 2-minute little shorts in order to flesh out the world and other characters. There's no way that it can feel complete that way.
Much like ReZero, I could keep going from there for, a long time until not even my mom likes me anymore. As a writer, I sit in awe of Tape Nagatsuki's craftsmanship and obsessive attention to detail. Given what ReZero accomplishes as a work of fantasy, a work of horror, and a work of social commentary, and that it manages to pack all of that into a tightly plotted adventure with some of the best waifus in anime without killing the pacing or detracting from the thrills.
Didn't you say that it spun its wheel during the mansion arc? So is that not killing the pacing?
It's not in this section of the video.
Oh, okay.
I can think of no more fitting word to describe it than masterpiece.
A really good show you like.
Yeah.
A show you really like. Not even a really good show. A show you really like.
And has a couple of points that speak to you and you relate to the main character a lot. No. Absolutely not.
If you want to call it a personal masterpiece,
100%.
I
Can't fight that. You do you.
You haven't even really said what it says as far as social, political, or social commentary.
It's just 4 or 5 different people who want to rule in different ways based upon their lifestyle.
What's the commentary there?
What's best for the world? We don't know because we don't know exactly how they would rule. We don't know outside of this one little city, town sort of thing, the whole kingdom, this village. We don't know too much about the world.
What did it accomplish as a horror thing? Because it designed a giant monster dog? What is it? Because most of the horror stuff you showed is from the light novels. Like that horse thing with a mouse on the chest and a giant helmet thing.
I guess it was sort of mystery horror when Ram was killing them.
Yeah, that was interesting.
A little bit of that. Other than that,
Thrills, I can think.
Okay, I want to see everything he said.
Season, it would still feel complete and satisfying. Much like ReZero, I could keep going from there for a long time until not even my mom likes me anymore. As a writer, I sit in awe of Tape Nagatsuki's craftsmanship and obsessive attention to detail. Given what ReZero accomplishes as a work of fantasy, a work of
fantasy, a work of horror. What does it do as a work of fantasy?
It has a bunch of dog people walking around.
Okay, it does say no, because there's racism in all types of fantasy. I don't think it does anything necessarily that a bunch of other fantasy things do not do.
Horror and a work of social commentary, and that it manages to pack all of that.
No, that's basically nothing.
Yeah.
Plotted adventure with some of the best.
It wasn't tightly plotted.
No, it wasn't. We
still know nothing about the witch or anything there. We still know nothing about the 6 other sins.
Head of the house, Beatrice.
We had a complete regression of the main character in 4 episodes.
For 3 episodes, it's just him dying and resetting and trying to figure out exactly how to save everybody from the cult. 3 episodes of the whale. It's not tightly plotted. We really don't need the princess stuff. That can come right out and just completely moved out of here. We don't need him going, oh, I have this darkness power within me. that can be picked up and taken right out of here because it is of no consequence to the story itself.
Waifus in anime without killing the pacing or detracting from the thrills, I can think of no more fitting word to describe it than masterpiece. ReZero is a masterpiece. Fuck you, fight me. I hope I'll be able to say the same for the second season when it drops, but at the very least, I know I can say it for the light novels, and if you'd like to read ahead...
Yeah, the light novels, okay. You think the light novels are not masterpieces because of what it does for fantasy, the realized world of fantasy. But no, you said one of the most realized worlds in anime and fantasy. But it's not because we don't know anything outside of the walls of the kingdom that we have except the palace where they did the princess crap. Or that town. Like, there's so little actually going on here. You didn't mention the carriage ride dude. You barely mentioned the redhead dude. You barely mentioned the sword princess. So you're even within this thing, you don't even have enough characters to go, wow, I can say everything for these people forever. That's just a falsity.
Yes, 100%. Same thing with the bar owner. He just yada yada. Oh, he's friends with old girl. Double
this
advertisement.
season. So from January 28th,
Yeah, I keep it going, keep it going.
Inspector
Yep, thank you.
Dragon, magic ties through the back as that can buy additional 600 yen off. For worth reading, even if you've watched it already, but Drifting Dragons is another personal favorite of mine. I love stories about fantasy careers, and dragon whaling is a one. Pictures in a setting, cool, and a gorgeous reminiscence of gonna make punk nerd happy.
Okay, yeah, we're done. -8?
Yeah, I was thinking like -9. I did not like that video. It's just one of those things where it's just like, really, dude? You're not saying too much, and what you're saying is it's not doing anything for me. Something he as soon as he said something like it speaks to me because of the psychological character craft and political stuff. It's like, okay, it's a masterpiece for you. You're not convincing me otherwise. It's personal for you. Done deal. Done and dusted. Not for me. Done. And this did not convince me. This, I actually remember so little about his points.
Yeah, I didn't get the anger I get.
Yeah,
so.
no. It's just more of a baffling, like,
Yeah.
you didn't even really say anything. You were spinning your wheels.
Yeah, it was a spinning your wheels video, and I'll say this. He would have gotten at least a point, maybe even a point and a half, if he had not said this was a masterpiece. If he was just like, I really like ReZero,
or if it was a personal masterpiece.
Yeah, something like that. It would probably be a 6.57 video. But you, in this video, in this 42 minutes, have not explained to me why I should believe this is a masterpiece. The characters? Okay, the characters are nothing more or less than any other thing I've ever seen. The horror, some of the horror is good. Some of it I don't really care about, like the dog. I don't like that design's whatever. The social commentary, because it has something to say, but that's only because you believe it has something to say. That's like, that's very much like the themes thing, where it's just like, this is what I believe it's saying, but I could also just say, no, it's not. And if I don't want to read into that, well, if you're trying to look for a masterpiece, you should be reading into that type of stuff. But just taking the series as it is, I don't think it's a very good series. I think it had the potential to be but episode 13 through 18 really just ruined all the goodwill I had for it, and it never got it back. And then it even further ruined it with that last scene with Amelia, where it's just like, dude, no, this is y'all first conversation. Why aren't you like, hey, that was she? Like, what were you doing? And he was already trying to excuse it in the carriage. Why would Subaru have done that? Why would he have said all those things to me? It must have been for a reason. He doesn't do anything without reason. No, you piece of he was being a person, and you should go, you piece of
And even if the characters are like 10 on 10 hard out of this world, the story and various moments still just breaks it down so far that it can't be called a masterpiece. Just and like I keep saying, the completely dropped plot lines in season 1 that could have just been wholesale picked up and moved out. So absolutely not. I do not see a masterpiece. I don't even see a good show.
I see once good show that dropped itself down to a bad show.
That has some good ideas, that has some good moments, that has some pretty good characters, and that is just marred by basically the other side of the coin, where Pat post episode 13, it's just like, well, that's just all.
It's like all characters regressed.
Yeah, because when Rim comes back, she just like sort of got that hood on and she's attacking Subaru. It's like, wait, what are you doing? And then we gotta try to figure that out. And yeah, no, it's bad.
It's not good. I'm not good. -8. Don't know what we're doing next. I thought we were gonna do a shorter one this time, but this one, time wise, it's actually not bad. This might be like one of our best ratios ever. Yep. Don't know what we're doing next, but
It'll be something. It's always something.
It's always something, isn't it?
I want to hit Haikyuu. I think Mother's Basement got a Haikyuu video.
I don't think we should do it back to back, Mother's Basement.
That might be a little bit much, but I did keep an eye out for a couple of Haikyuu videos.
To be fair, though, we did do a back to back Oceanus.
But Oceanus was fun, and this.
You know what? We haven't hit
Basement,
Oceanus in a while.
I've been keeping an eye out. He has a video that's something like Nin as a power system. That was just like,
okay, we might need to hit up some
my
Oceanus.
goodness.
Oh yeah, there was that Nux Taco video we saw that we were like, bruh.
He's got What's So Great About Haikyuu, Mother's Basement.
No, is that him asking or him telling you?
Haikyuu is one of the most widely and passionately loved series to emerge in the pages of Shonen Jump. But what exactly do fans of the smash hit volleyball love about it so much? Smash sponsored by Crunchyroll.
Okay, he might not even like it. He could just be going, the fans like it, and I'm gonna tell you why.
But that's a very hard thing to do.
Yeah, if you're not a fan of something, to explain
especially
why.
if you don't like it.
No, I don't think so,
Well,
because I think we very much talk about why people like things like Hunter x Hunter and stuff. We're not a fan of it, but
I cannot make a 20-minute video.
No,
on why other people like this show. That
I absolutely could. Oh, for Hunter x Hunter, I absolutely could.
I just like the Nin system. I guess people like it or whatever.
An hour to rake every Hunter x Hunter arc? Nux, what are you doing?
He had a video that had some potential. That was something like, I take on the One Piece community.
I'm declaring war on the One Piece
community. But I peeked my head in. He's just like, there's some problem with some power scalers and theorists. And I'm like, nope, you're right.
Yeah, it's just a meming thing.
Yeah. No, okay. It wasn't even a meming thing. It was just like,
I'm just saying because the thumbnail has giant meme middle finger.
But it wasn't a meme. It wasn't a meme
Okay.
video. It was a thing like, hey, there's a problem. But then that's one of those things like, there's problems with any anime community, like the Dragon Ball community, just going, I wonder what would happen if Zeno fought one of his attendants, and it's like, we don't know anything about them. Shut up.
True. Yep. We're just gonna start looking through some of our videos to see what we're doing next. So yeah, next time.